it's Eric with His&Hers HHQ. I'm actually going to try to make this as quick as possible. Well, you know, as quick as it can be. This is our AMT Chevy Rescue van. I've done a lot of going over this thing. First off, these bits here, let me see, I'll use that. This here is not the part that it shows in the assembly. As a matter of fact, those have a part number, but there's no part numbers listed. This bit and this bit are not needed for the stock wheels. I think it was those two. But the bit that is needed to attach to this for the stock wheels is not listed, or it's not even shown. So I had to do a lot of going over this to try and guess where AMT was going with this. But I did go and sort a bunch of stuff. These parts here I'll use for something else. I'm not using that little steering wheel there, and I'm not using these. But as you can see right here, the front seats are done. And that back bench is done. Now there's a reason for that. Even though you will not be able to see inside the van unless you're looking through the front window or the driver passenger side door windows, you won't be able to see inside the van. That's going to be in there for a reason. It's going to be one of those cases of, I'm going to know it's there, and actually so is that. Let me see. There was surprisingly a lot of spare parts that I was looking at. Like all of this stuff I'm going to save for another kit. I may add this, but I'm not positive. The antenna, all the sirens, the lights, all of that is going to be saved for something else. The road lights going to be saved for something else. But yeah, otherwise it's going to be a plain Jane stock van. I did spend some time roughing up the tires, as I've shown before, with that drill bit now. I tried to give the back tires, and I've designated these as the back tires, a little excessive wear, but they still have plenty of tread. You know, especially with for those that don't have decent pockets. The front tires I gave a little extra wear to, especially on the sides. Like perhaps he needs an alignment. I really just kind of went crazy on this one because the look I'm going for, this is going to support the look I'm going for, basically. As you can clearly see down here, yes, I did dechrome those, and then I gave them a shot of black primer, and then I hit them with silver. I'm going to go back over these now, and I'm going to give them a little bit of rust because I like this dull look. So now I'm going to give them a little bit of rust, and then I'll black wash them. These will be ready, and I'll be able to final assembly the tires. If any of you have seen the final reveal on the promo build for the downtown service station in Waynesville, if you saw that tire in the back of the truck, I'm going to try to recreate as best as possible that same kind of dirty, aged look. Like it's rusty, but it's all surface rust kind of thing. So that's what I'm going to go for on the front. The engine has got a coat of paint on it, and I didn't go with a bright like Chevy orange. Oh good Lord, I can't remember. It's an antique orange. But what I'm looking to do is, I don't mind that it's not completely covered, because it's going to get plenty of oil wash, plenty of oil staining. I have, of course, to paint the transmission now, paint the oil filter, paint the starter, and whatnot. But it's one of those cases of letting that dry thoroughly, I guess. Gas out. I spent the vast majority of today. Now, the last couple of days, you know, I've discussed how I bounce around on parts and stuff like that. I'll like work on the seats and then come back over here to this and then come over to this. Over the last couple of days, I spent time cleaning up the van's body. But then I had several hours to myself this morning, you know, after the VA was done, you know, taking blood and all that mess. And I decided to attack the van body. Now, I'm giving it that little bit that's going to get more of a rust spot. I'm surprised it's separated like that, and that's actually pretty cool. I'm going to give that a bit of a touch of rust. And of course, I got rid of the trim on the door, and I got rid of the trim back here. I'll go back over it a little bit more, touch it up a little better. But if you look closely down here, this darker bits or the rougher bits, I'm not going to smooth that out because I want it to have a surface rust. Then I gave it a bit of a dent or beauty mark here in the back, which broke off this bit of trim. Then I got rid of, well, I got rid of a couple letters. Now it's Chevette. Because, you know, the driver's got it's a Chevette. The driver's got a sense of humor. Anyway, now over here, I got a bit more wear here, and then I'll give it that bit of that look. Give it the paint surface rust look over the physical rust. This here is kind of special. I like the way this turned out. It's got bits, loose bits here and there. When I get this primed, yes, actually I've got some down here too. What I did, once I got got through the metal, or got through the plastic, got it thinned down enough and was getting this broken up, I took a really thin sheet, a small sheet of my styrene, and I added it in place behind it, because I know when occasionally you look at some of these vehicles, there are some spots you get a little rust patch through there, and you look behind it and there's another wall and it's going to be a little rusty. Well, that's the same effect I was going for here. So I put this thin sheet of styrene, and then I sanded the mess out of it until it was really, well, until it itself is kind of really thin. So as you can see, we're starting to get that well, that specific look. I got rid of the last bit of trim up here. So I would say it's just about ready. I will clean it up again tomorrow and get some flat red primer on it and get it ready to go. Of course, it it turns out I was playing with different aspects of thinning that metal. I wasn't just I mean, I was using the rotary drum or the rotary tool with the drum sandpaper. I did use that, but I used that really to clean up the rest of the work. I used some of the stone, the rounded stone stuff, attachments. I use those, and I don't see them. I think I put them back up with my rotary tool. Anyway, I use that little all metal piece. I can't even remember what it's called. Anyway, I use that, and then I use the wire brush, rotary brush. And it turns out you can hurt yourself with that. But I didn't figure out I had hurt myself until later on, when I was actually doing the cleanup with sandpaper, and I got fine particles of plastic in, well, my boo-boos. I didn't know I could do that. Well, I mean, you know, I knew I could do it, but I figured I would have known I did that. I guess it just, you know, one of those things. It happens. So this is where we're at with it. It's moving along rather quickly. I think it'll definitely be done before the end of the month. So, as a matter of fact, it may actually be done by the end of next week. Next weekend, not this coming weekend, but the weekend after. Definitely should be done by then, because I want to get the interior looking a certain way, and then of course the body needs to look a certain way. And once I have the engine and everything buttoned up, everything will get put in there. The interior itself obviously needs a certain look. I did a little mocking up earlier, going with the look the van will have. If it's sitting down, like, instead of a flat level surface, that rear end, my custom rear end is going to give it kind of a, not that aggressive, but quite a bit of a lift in the rear. So that's going to be fun. So that's where we're at, and I appreciate everybody sticking around. This is what I use to create the dent. Anyway, I appreciate everybody sticking around. I appreciate all the views. I really appreciate the comments. You guys and gals, it's just phenomenal community, and I thank you all enough, or I can't thank you all enough. It's just, wow. So anyway, I'm Eric with His&Hers HHQ. Of course, if you haven't yet, head on over to Facebook and follow us at His&Hers Hobby Headquarters. Take a moment, like, subscribe. Subscribing doesn't cost a thing. And of course, share the content. Continue to spread the word of scale model building. It's a fantastic and rewarding hobby. It will really help, it promotes individual thought and imagination and pushing yourself, committing to things. I know I've seen several people talk about stalled projects. I have 5. They will get done. But, it's about the commitment and keep going. So, as always, pardon me, I am tired, so I'm not talking very well. Comment below. It may take 5 minutes. It may take 5 days. But as always, I will very much try to reply and be interactive. I do like to be interactive with everybody. So yeah, thank you for all the wonderful comments, and I'm Eric. Have a good day.